Well, here we are again, and I'm going to tell you something. Again is a good sign. When you can't do it again because circumstances have shut everything down, we're really in trouble. Well, there's a lot of states right now that are closing down. They're not allowing transportation of people even throughout town except emergencies. Well, we are all in an emergency state. A couple of thoughts come to mind I want to share with you. I know this weekend you're not going to get to go to church. Stay tuned to your local church through this magnificent medium of your computer. Do not fail to continue to pay your tithes to your church. Don't hold back your money saying, oh God, we better save this money. I'm going to tell you the best way to lose your money is to hoard it and not give it. Our ministry, I'm going to tell you a little quick story about our ministry. You need to hear this. We met day before yesterday, and we're planning out, because we can't come in numbers to our offices, we're planning out at what we call a skeleton crew. So a day before yesterday morning, I was sitting on the edge of the bed and I just felt compelled, and I know it was the Lord. I don't go around saying, God told me this and God told me that. The Bible warns the prophets not to say that unless God did say it to them. Well, there's just some people, apparently, they don't go a second of the day without God telling them, use this toothpaste, use that toothbrush, and comb your hair with that brush. Button up that shirt this way. I get tired of that stuff. I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. When God speaks to me, I know it's God speaking to me because I'm not smart enough to come up with that idea. So day before yesterday morning, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, and not on the edge of crisis, not on the edge of panic. I'm just wanting to hear from God. I was up all night. And one of the things I felt like the Lord said was, write $1,000 check to another ministry. Not out of the ministry funds, but out of my personal funds. So I know a man that he and his wife bring in foster children. His name is Steve. And I wrote Steve $1,000 check out of my personal funds because the ministry doesn't have any funds to be writing that kind of check out of. I went to the office, and before I told the folks what we are doing, as Brenda and me, another employee says, I want to put $1,000 toward another ministry. How about my jaw hit the table? And then two more, another couple. All these members of our team start giving of their personal funds. Wow, why would they do that? Because there's a secret in this era of crises. You give it and it'll come back to you, pressed down, shaking together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom. And while the ministry is going to skeleton crew because we can't even make payroll, there's no way to make payroll because we can't go on the road. We're not out there speaking in churches and doing military programs and school assemblies. So there's no income. Yet every one of the employees said, we're in for the long haul. We don't care if we get paid or not. This is not about money. It's about ministry. And we're giving these $1,000 gifts. I think it's up to 10 now from employees giving about $10,000 to other ministries that are in the same boat we're in, but worse off because they're very small ministries, and they don't have mailing lists and income streams like we do. And I'm so proud of my employees. I can't tell you what it did to me when these folks started just writing checks, and they don't have money to give away, but they did. And I got thinking about it, and I found this story that I just love in the Bible. It's in Luke chapter 8, and the story is one you all know, I'm sure, where Jesus is in the boat and the storm is raging, and he drifts off to sleep. To them, what was a sinking boat, to him was a swaying hammock. He was quite comfortably asleep in the boat, and they woke him up terrified, afraid. And they're all concerned because he's sleeping. And he says, what's wrong? And with his words, just the word, as I said yesterday, if you saw yesterday's broadcast or telecast, whatever you call this, he says the word and the servant's healed. He sends his word and the raging storm stops. And he looks at them and he says, where is your faith? What a question. So today, in the storm that's raging around us, where's your faith? Is it in the CDC, the Center for Disease Control? Or WHO, the World Health Organization? You might really want to double check your faith in that one. Is it in the President of the United States or Vice President Pence? Or is it in a Democratic vote that someone you're going to vote for that you think they have? I'm going to tell you something. We got into this problem because of human leadership, starting in America, but starting in China, let's be honest, and then the rest of the world not knowing how to catch up with it. We are not going to find our answer in human resources, human wisdom, leaning on the arm of flesh. But if we will just believe, have faith over fear. Don't let fear rule you now. Where's your faith? It's in that sleeping Savior. If he's comfortable, you be comfortable. If he's not worried, then why are you worried? I remember when he walked up to the disciples on the water, scared the dickens out of them, whatever dickens is. They were terrified. And Jesus was like, what are you terrified about? Because he's walking on the water. Why did he walk on the water? Because to him, that was normal. See, to him, he doesn't go down with the ship. He goes up with the ship. The problems that are over our head, Jesus has under his feet. Don't worry. God's got this thing. He's got it. It's under control. So don't panic. Don't get afraid. All I can tell you is, where's your faith? If God's asking you that question, it's because fear is in the way. Replace your fear with faith. He will send his word and it will be okay. I'm Dave Roever, and I'll see you tomorrow.